Ladies, we have hut to discuss tonight. After the latest deep dive from EA, there's actual information when it comes to hut, and it's sick. I'm No Sleeves 12. So guys, let's start with what's out. Position locking, gone. Absolutely key. No more goalies, no more being center locked or winger locked and then just letting the AI do everything. I mean, to be honest, in NHL 19 that might actually be a benefit because you could dominate everyone because the AI has been toned down so much now if they were to just position lock. But the fact that you can't play guys who are just goalie locked, that's an advantage. I mean, it wasn't fun, it wasn't actually playing the game, so that's a fantastic addition. That's no longer going to be in NHL 19. Single player seasons, that's no longer a thing as an actual game mode. It's being moved into a hut challenges feature of the game, which is kind of a smart and intelligent move because it didn't really make sense that it was just offline in its own thing. Now you can actually grind it and get achievements and things and, you know, unlocks additional to the actual what the game mode gives you as well in the offline challenges because they are now, it is in the hut challenges section of the game mode. Who else was sick and tired that come May or even April or February you had a million contracts to go through, but you had to scroll through like 9 pages to get to the actual gold ones? That's no longer a thing. There is now one contract. It's just a normal length. Everyone will be the same, so there isn't any bronze or silver or gold, anything like that. It's just essentially gold now. As well, injury items. This was the best change of life thing that I've found so far. The fact that you no longer have a leg, arm, torso injury. It's now all just one simplified injury, so every single injury card is now a +3 to any injury, which just makes a ton of sense. On top of that, this season they removed the consumable pack, which didn't seem like a big deal at the beginning of the game, but for anyone that doesn't buy a ton of packs, you essentially had to pay up the at the end of the year because everyone just hoarded all the contracts, and contracts went way up on the marketplace because the only way you could get them was really just buying them on the auction house or buying packs. So now that there's actually a consumable pack, you can now buy contracts again that will also come with healing items that are again just simplified. There's only one injury and one contract for each. Great changes. New to the game are NHL alumni. These cards are brand new to the game mode, and there will be 140 plus of them. These range, I guess, from fan favorites to local legends, which I don't really get in that, and they can be found in any pack that contains the prospect of a gold player item. So any pack that you can get a gold player item, you can get one of these NHL alumni cards. 30 of the alumni cards will be available year-round from launch from the regular store packs. The rest will be released in waves each week, with a different section of alumni players available each week as rewards in specific instances, such as rewards for competitive seasons. This is kind of like how Legends were last year. If you remember, there was a few Legends that got released early, like Bure, and then as the season went on, Hasek, Van Beesbrook, Heatley, those kinds of things. It's going to work the same, but there will be a ton of them that are available at launch. On top of this, there will be 63 NHL Legend player items to add to your team. Again, these are fan favorites and all-time greats that you'll be able to create your ultimate team with. And there's 4 ways to obtain these legends. So there's 32 legends that are available in sets at launch, just like last season how there was 31 for each team except for Vegas, I believe, and then there was the Yager and a Ginla. So there will be 30 regular legends at launch, and then 299 overall ultimate legends, including Wayne Gretzky. It's been kind of rumored again, but not confirmed. Again, I'm 100% not confirming this, but I believe the other one was Mario Lemieux, but I could be completely making this up. So basically, to obtain the 30 regular legends from sets, you'll have to get the base alumni player item from the regular store packs or the auction house and upgrade it 3 times through legend sets. If you play Madden, it's kind of like that. So day 1, let's say Rick Nash is the Columbus Blue Jacket alumni, for example. I'm not confirming, I just let's use that as an example. You get Rick Nash day 1. You get his alumni card, let's say it's an 80 overall. Upgrade it once using a gold collectible. Again, it could require many. To upgrade these, you need to use gold collectibles and or carbon collectibles to get the upgraded version. So let's say the first one requires 5 gold collectibles. You use that on your Rick Nash while you're working towards the finished legend set item of the Rick Nash. You'll upgrade him, and the first upgrade, let's say, gets him to an 84. Okay, and then so on and so forth as you go through the 3 progressions for each alumni. After you've done that, you're going to get one of the legend collectibles. Okay, you're going to need 45 of these to get the Ultimate Legend Wayne Gretzky. And let me tell you guys, I'm going to go into ratings in a second. Getting a 99 overall is A, going to be a grind, but B, insanely worth it if you can get it anywhere before January 1st. That's going to be a gigantic advantage in competitive seasons that allows you to use any card. And I'm going to explain why in just a little bit. So just to recap, I'm going to get all the normal cards. So like I said, last year was Steve Sullivan for Nashville, Rick Nash for Columbus. You're going to get their base alumni card. Either you're packing it or you're buying it in the auction house for cheap. Let's say it's a 78 overall, okay? Just as an example. You're going to use a bunch of gold collectibles to do the first upgrade. It's going to upgrade to an 81. So it's upgrading as you're using it. So you don't have to just continually upgrade it 3 times before you actually get a card you can use on your team. You're going to be able to use it as you go, which is, again, an amazing change to HUT. Once you get that third and final upgraded legend, you're going to get that legend card, the final form of the Rick Nash or Steve Sullivan. You're also going to get the legend collectible. You need 45 of them to get the 99 overall Wayne Gretzky and whoever else the other 99 is. Now, legends can also be obtained by turning in monthly collectibles. These are obtained in the daily login packs and by completing all of the daily objectives each day. You know, there will be a few like win 5 games, those kinds of things. As long as you log in, get your opening pack, you're going to get these collectibles that you can then trade in for legends each month. You'll be able to earn a new legend each month leading up to and including April of 2019. And as a reward for collecting and turning in enough monthly collectibles, you'll get them. Again, it's going to be a great advantage if you do it at least in the first month. I'm going to go into why in a second, but it is going to be very advantageous to do this. You know, logging in, it's going to reward you instead of just giving you like 200, you know, coins and a rank or a coach or a collector or a contract. Much better. Milestones. There's also 7 legends who will be obtainable as rewards by completing full milestone groups. These legends will be earned through completing in-game tasks like scoring goals, completing sets, and taking shots. As you progress through the milestone for a legend, you'll also learn a loan item of the legend that increases in overall the closer you are to completing the set. These legends will be untradeable. This is huge. So guys, as you're playing the game, the more you play, the more goals you're going to score as a HUT team. Doing this will then help you unlock these milestone legends. So you're going to get better players by just playing the game, not by, you know, buying packs or working the market. Obviously, that's going to help in other areas, but you'll actually get these 7 legends by just doing a ton of work in games and playing the game itself. I think that's a fantastic addition and probably one of the best that's going to come to HUT in quite some time. Again, these legends are untradeable, but they are something to work towards, and it gives it a more grindy feel. But for the guys that play 1,000 games of HUT each year, this is perfect. For the guys that just love playing the game, you're going to get rewarded for just playing the game. So I mentioned earlier loan players. Loan items are coming to NHL 19 and will allow you to try out some of the top players on your team for a limited duration. Think back to when HUT had, like, you know, you had guys that had a contract but then they would retire. It's kind of like that. With the loan players feature, you'll be able to see how a player fits on your squad before purchasing in the auction house. From HUT challenges to objectives and milestones, there'll be plenty of ways you to earn loan items as you try out for your squad. So think of it like this: if you do an offline challenge, you could, for example, get a lone Drew Doughty that you can use for, let's say, 10 games, and you can see if Drew Doughty is worth getting for your team. If he fits your playstyle, obviously he's probably going to. That's just an example. You're going to get that max, that max card to see if he does fit with his synergies and all that kind of stuff, and then at the end of that, it will just expire. What I'm concerned with is that being able to use loan players in comp seasons and things like that. I really hope that that isn't the case, because then guys could just grind loan player items, save them for comp seasons, and then early on, it doesn't matter how good your team is, and if you've worked the market or things like that, you'll have a bunch of guys running around with 85s and whatnot, because they're just loan items. So I don't think that's the case, but let's hope for that that being true. Now let's talk about probably the most important thing that happened in HUT this season, and what's coming is the rebalancing of the economy, and they took several different measures to help ensure that that's going to happen. Last year they attempted, again, they had a few good things that happened with HUT. There was a ton of not good things, but for example, they started with lower overalls. The problem was that they released 7,000 cards in the full season, and you had 99s in January and February before Team of the Year happened, and it didn't really matter, and you basically quick sold an Ovechkin, base Ovechkin, which is just a joke. So what they did was, this year they started all overalls will be extremely low. It's going to be, you're going to get a range from 50 to 85 overall. So that essentially translates to Connor McDavid will be either an 85 or an 84, with Patrick Kane being 84 in the little picture here. I would think that based on the Versus rankings and how all the players are ranked, that McDavid's an 85, as well as all the other legends that you're going to get. I can't confirm that, but the pre-order legends and things like that will probably be within the 80 to 85 range because they are golds. And there's going to be a few exceptions, though, for alumni and legend items. Those are going to break the 85 barrier, as they should. I think that these cards will actually, be worth chasing, especially the ones that require you to play a ton of games and shots and goals and all things like that. That's a great change. So here are the changes to bronze, silver, and gold players. Basically, in HUT 18, a player's grade and rarity reflected the league that they play in. For example, all NHL players were gold regardless of stats, and all CHL players were bronze. This created a problem where they weren't able to leverage the entire player catalog effectively. So what's happening now is, regardless of what league you play in, it goes by rating. So 80 plus is a gold rare. Makes sense. Basically, 85 being Connor McDavid, 80 to 85 is a gold rare. 74 to 79 is a gold common. 63 to 73 is a silver rare. 62 to 67 is a silver common, and 56 to 61 is a bronze rare, with 50 to 55 being a bronze common. This is going to make the rarity of higher items and things harder to get, which is fantastic. Now, I do need to mention there's the possibility to get gold player items in all packs, as well as bronze and silver players. So if you buy a bronze level pack, there is a chance to get a gold player, but obviously the percentage in that happening is much lower than if you bought the best pack available. There obviously is going to be packs throughout the year that are basically guaranteed gold player items. At launch, at least, there's the possibility that you're going to get a few bronze items as well in your gold packs, which I really don't see a problem with, because at least this is, again, helping the economy, because the player items are much lower to start, and I'm going to explain why it's going to take a lot longer to get to the 99 overalls. Okay, the next big change is they're essentially making it so that the daily content player items throughout the year are only going to be Team of the Week, milestone player items, and primetime player items. Currently, Flashback isn't confirmed or denied, so currently we're going to get Team of the Week, milestone, and primetime items. How these are going to work: let's say Patrick Kane's an 84. Okay, we're gonna do some quick maths here. If he gets one item in the month of October, let's say he has a night where he scores 5 points, he gets a primetime item. Okay, he can only go up +3, meaning that his primetime item will be an 87. Then what will happen is, if he gets a milestone, let's say he hits like a goal level, and he gets a milestone item, he won't get an additional. It won't become a higher total, a higher overall. What will happen is he's going to become an 87 milestone card as well, but the synergies are going to be different, which then kind of makes it, okay, is the milestone worth more, or is the Team of the Week worth more? If you get two in the same month, it does not change the overall. You will only go up +3 once. You can have a Team of the Week, a primetime, and a milestone player item for Ovechkin, and all three of those are going to be 87 overalls, whatever Ovechkin starts at. The next month, if the same thing happens again, Kane, for example, would go up to a 90. Okay, again, I'm just using Patrick Kane as an example. So he gets another Team of the Week in November, he would be a 90. Same thing, let's say he has another huge night, gets a primetime, hits another milestone, still going to be a 90. Okay, they'll have different synergies, but still going to be a 90. Then December comes, he does it again, gets one of the three again, he's only going to be a 93. We're into December, when ice cards and things were released last year. Guys that were rated high, like Kane and McDavid, for example, early on, are only going to be a 93. January, 96, and again, guys, if they have 2 in a month, it's only going up by 3. And if they don't have anything the next month, they're not going up by 3 again. Okay, it doesn't carry over. I think that this is going to be kind of a nice way to see if it balances out the economy without having 7,000 of the same card, come out. I think that this is a good change. It'll boost their ratings enough and make it, a little bit more interesting. I think it'll also impact the 59th minute trick, because if you're in the auction house and in the 59th minute, you're just searching and spamming ones. If you get the one that has the bad, synergies, that could be a loss. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes and impacts overall. So if you do the math correctly, let's say McDavid, and he starts at an 85. First month he gets 3, 88. That would be October. November, 91. December, 94. January 97, and then February, let's say he does it again, then he's a 99. But then March is when Team of the Year and things start coming out, so that almost makes sense. And guys, that's the highest rated player. So if another guy that's rated like an 81 at the beginning, he won't have a 99 overall early. Like it's a very good change, and it's something I'm really excited for. Lastly, let's talk trade-in sets. This is key and something you want to pay attention to, especially early on. Okay, so last year there was really no way to obtain gold collectibles other than packing them in the auction house, and that's what drove the price way up, because all of this cool stuff to unlock required you to spend stupid amounts of money in the auction house or hundreds of dollars on packs. So here are the ways that you can trade in players for sets in NHL 19 at launch. Okay, so you can trade in 5 gold common players for 1 untradeable gold player, which is key. So any guys that are rated up to 80, you can trade in 5 of them and you'll get 1 untradeable gold player, and that's an 8-hour cooldown. But the cool thing about that is there's also a set added in there where you trade in 5 gold rare player items, you will get 1 gold collectible. That's key. You can actually make them again. So you have 5 gold players and you get 1 gold collectible. It's a 24-hour cooldown. I think that that's fantastic, because you can't have guys that just buy 1 million and then there's a 24-hour cooldown. That's a lengthy time to get, to spam and ruin the market with gold collectibles. They are needed, so the fact that you have a ton of them, the players that you don't use, they can actually be used for a gold collectible, and I think that low-key stocking up on them and then be able to do it every day, if you're going to log in anyways, to be able to create a gold collectible every day is going to be a huge advantage, especially early on. Then you can do it with all the other players. 5 bronze common players become 1 bronze rare, and so on and so forth. You can also re-roll a gold rare player. So you trade in 2 gold rare players, you're going to get 1 untradeable gold rare player. That's an 8-hour cooldown. I wouldn't really recommend any of those. I would recommend saving the gold rare players for gold collectibles, especially early on, because those were detrimental to obtaining any sort of really cool player, and the market just crushed it after that. So here's the last thing that I think is super exciting that not a lot of people are paying attention to. Here, look at this, like the snapshot of what a player is. So an 80 plus overall is a gold rare. Okay, 90 skating, 84 shot for Patrick Kane, which is all fantastic. But then look what they did for the gold commons. If you look at Rasmus Dahlin, 78 overall, that's nothing. Look at his skating, he's an 85, okay? Go down to the silver rare, and Malte Stromwall has an 81, and even down to a 66 for Christopher Paquette, he has a 78. What's amazing about this, guys, is that speed is essentially the most important, especially early on, okay? If your team is just slower, you're going to get crushed, and especially in 19 when chasing the puck is extremely detrimental. The fact that they've made all of these cards a higher speed is going to make at least these players usable early on, which I think is a fantastic addition. And if you notice, their shots are really low. I think that the non-elite players, I think this is also really going to help the fact with short side wristers and cross ice one-timers. I think the fact that they're going to have low shots, meaning to be able to pick those spots, having an extremely rare card early, even 1 or 2 like Patrick Kane, McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin, Kucherov, even just having 1 of those to be able to do those normal goals that we have become accustomed to, even if 19's goalies have been adjusted a little bit for them. Having a guy that, Rasmus Dahlin, but from the point he's shooting with a 75 shot, maybe it hits the net. I think that that's going to make games a lot more close and make team building a lot more important than what it was prior, which was just, every card was fast and had great shots. So I think that this is all a great addition, and something you want to keep an eye out for early on, because not all, cards that aren't gold rares might actually have some use. Alright guys, I hope this helps clear some things up. Again, if there's anything you want me to bring to the Game Changers chat, just let me know. Hit me up on Twitter at NoSleevesGaming, in the comments section, all that kind of stuff. If you like my channel, sub, closing in on 5K, that'd be sick before NHL 19. But yeah, you guys stay sweet.